my name's Dan O'Connor, but I go by Nad Ronnoco, which is my name backwards. Actually stole that from my father years ago. To define myself as an artist, I would say a style would be abstract. That's what my passion is. That's what I love. I love abstract art. Not necessarily staying within the guidelines, coloring outside the lines. My first teacher, I would say, would be Bob Ross from Channel 13 PBS Happy Trees. He really taught me about mistakes. He taught me that, like, you know, if you have a drop that falls on your canvas, you turn into a leaf or you turn into something else. It's not the end of it, and that's what kind of gives you like this freedom. And then growing up looking at Dolly with another outside perspective of being free, and I think that's what I'm always looking for in the artist, to just be free. Well, this one is inspired by Francois Neely. She's a fantastic artist. I don't know much about her other than I've seen her work online, and that she has YouTubes up, and that's what really, it taught me how to do it. She uses a different method, mostly using a knife. I used a brush. I'm not trying to copy her paintings, I'm just trying to get the same idea of that painting out. The trials and tribulations would be like self-worth would be one thing for sure. It's just not being able to grasp that my material is valid or, you know, worth what I'm trying to sell it for, I think would be the hardest thing. And for me, it's been more of a struggle in the sense of, like, if you're not in a gallery, you're not recognized. Whereas I like doing more, how would I say, like street or urban fairs and stuff like that, where I actually get to see the people and talk to them, and they actually, you know, it's not so pretentious in a way. I don't want to sound like, oh, I don't want to ever be in a gallery. It's just that I have a certain, I'm a blue-collar worker. I've been a blue-collar guy my whole life, and I don't think that, you know, you shouldn't be able to afford something that you love. But as far as like grinding it out 9 to 5, I literally probably had, you know, over 150 jobs easily. A lot of my friends didn't hang out with me because they were like, I was unstable, you know. And when you're weaving in and out of this while it's happening, you don't know until many years later that you're like, oh, okay, that's what it was. I was just trying to find my way. I used to say, oh, I was a Gemini, that's the reason it was like this. Or you had some kind of, you know, psychological problems, that's what it was. But when you find out what it is, you're just trying to, you know, somebody's trying to get you there, and it's just a matter of you getting it yourself, I think, you know, or becoming aware that, you know, you're going to do art. I'm a big car guy, like I'm a huge car guy, so I have all these car magazines. So what I did was I did the foam lettering the way I did it. It spells horsepower. It's kind of like you lose the letters. I didn't realize that I was making it, but it's all like the clippings from the car. And there's like little words that are put in there, like for car guys, you know, and stuff like that. To me, success would be being able to say that, all right, I only have to sell, you know, one painting a month, and I can get by, and it allows me to be a little bit more free with what I actually want to create. Sometimes I feel like I'm creating sometimes because I know that's what might lead to a sale that week, and sometimes you really have to do that. Sometimes it's not always from the heart, you know, it's from what you have to actually look at it sometimes, that what drives you might not drive somebody else, and therefore if you have to make a painting of a Kellogg's rabbit, make a Kellogg's rabbit and sell it, you know. This has these little diamonds that are on there. They're all individually cut. There's 1,450 of these individually cut diamonds that I put on in a pattern, and I rolled the pattern all the way around the edges, which took a long time, and I would never do that again. It's not just going to happen overnight. Somebody's going to find you and say, hey, you're the greatest artist in the world. You have got to practice, and you've got to paint, and in my case, you got to paint, you got to sculpt, you got to find every avenue in which you're going to find that either A, defines yourself or makes yourself happy. And that's the other aspect, is what makes you happy. If you're just doing it to become famous, then you're in the wrong place, because it's never going to happen that way. You know, it might, you never know. You can put a red dot on there and be worth $1 million, but the idea is to love what you're doing, and everything else will fall into place.